Hello everyone, so in this video we are going to learn how to add date manually in a workflow using Pabbly Connect. So here we are going to talk about those applications that do not offer you the date when the event took place. So here for example we are going to take the example that whenever an order will be created in Digistore 24 and you want to create a record of all those orders in your Google Sheet, you also want the date on which that order was created. So you can get the date of that order with the help of a feature that is called Datetime Formatter by Pabbly. In this automation, our trigger will be that application where you want the response, which is Digi24. So our trigger will be new order event, and our action will be where you want to store the record, which is Google Sheet here. So our action is add new row. Let us learn how to do that.
So let us learn that how you can manually add date in your workflow if there is no date present in the trigger or action responses or the application that you're using. So basically here what we are doing is like you're using any e-commerce platform that doesn't provide the date of the event that took place. For example, we are using Digistore here, and Digistore order placed, whenever you take the data of the newly placed order over here, it does not provide you the date. And let's say you want to store all the order related data in your spreadsheet like this. I have created these columns for the name of the product that is ordered, the ID, the amount, name of the customer and email. That is sufficient, but we also need the date of the order in order to decide the date of delivery and other details. So if they do not provide the date of order automatically, so what we are going to do is create an automation that will help you add the date manually. So let us quickly sign in into our account so that we will reach this place where I can see all the applications provided by Pabbly. And we are going to use Pabbly Connect to create this automation. Click on Access Now so that we will reach the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. Reaching here, you will see a big blue button on your right side where it's written Create Workflow. Click on the button and give a suitable name to your workflow. I'm going to name it as Add Date Manually in the Workflow. Click on Create and then a blank workflow will be created for you. You can name it as per your own requirement of the application. So now you will be able to see two major modules of Pabbly Connect, trigger and action windows on which the whole automation runs. Now trigger says when this happens and action says do this, which means that trigger will be the first application from where the data will arrive, and action will be the last application where the data which Pabbly Connect has received from the trigger application will be stored. Like here, our trigger application is Digistore because we will get the data from here, and our action application will be Google Sheets where we will like to store the data. So I would like to suggest you to open your application of your trigger application and your action application here in separate tabs already prepared so that you can first of all connect both the applications to Pabbly Connect and also to make the required changes for the workflow. So let us begin. Our trigger over here is Digistore. Let us choose our application as Digistore over here, and then you will be needing a trigger event. So the trigger event will be what do you want, new affiliated approved, if you want this event to trigger your workflow, or e-ticket event. I'm going to select new order event. Okay, so it triggers whenever a new order is purchased, it's confirmed, it's cancelled, whatever is the event related to that. So triggers when a transaction for an order is received. All right, either it's payment or refund anyways. So whenever a new order related event takes place in Digistore, so this workflow will be triggered, and that's how all the data will be received, and then that will be further transferred to the action application. So in order to connect our Digistore 24 and Pabbly Connect, we have been provided a webhook URL. This webhook URL is basically a bridge between both these applications, that whenever this event will take place and it triggers the workflow, this webhook URL will bring all the data related to that specific event over here in our workflow as a webhook response. So let us connect this webhook URL and follow these instructions for that. You do not have to learn. You can just simply follow this help text given over here. So first of all, log into your Digistore 24 account that I have already done. What is next? You have to go to settings, then integrations IPN, add new connection, and then webhooks. Let us follow that. On the top right corner, you have your settings, and the second option takes you to integration IPN. Reaching here, you will see this blue button called add new connection. Click on that button, and from here you have to select the connection as webhook, that the connection will be done via webhook. After scrolling down, you will see a webhook called icon over here. Click on that button, and then you will get the form from where you can create a new webhook right here. First of all, give it a name. I'm going to name it as Pabbly Connect because that is a simple reference of this workflow. Okay. For which product you're adding this webhook? So you want that any order related would be okay. So here all products are selected. All right, we have 3 products in our dummy account and all these 3 products are available for this trigger. Add-ons, yes. Now for all languages, yes, from all over the world the order can be accepted. Send notifications for what? Orders by customer. If you deselect it, you can select any other one, right? So here we are working upon orders by customer. An order, what happens to the order? For payment, for refund, chargeback, or missed recurring payment, any of these event will be taking place for a new order, and that's how the data related to that order will be sent further. Now is a field for webhook URL. So what you have to do is copy this URL from here and paste it in this empty field. So now by pasting it over here, you have connected this webhook URL to Pabbly Connect and Digistore 24. Now everything else is done. You can fill in the other details as per your requirement and click on save in the end. Now see, your changes have been saved. When you go back to your workflow, you will see it is waiting for a webhook response, which means you have to make a test confirmation for the order. That's how you will receive the data. So let us go back over here, go back to your dashboard, and then from account, you can find products over here. In your products, you will have all the options. Let us open any product like this one and make a test purchase. This test purchase is just to test or create this workflow. Since it is waiting for a response, we go back over here and here we will fill in the customer details. So I have entered the first name, last name, the email address of the customer, zip code and name of the country. Everything else is done. Here I have an option called test payment. So I will choose that one and that's how the payment will be done. See, thank you for your order and this one is done. Our work is complete over here. When you go back to your workflow, you will see in just 2-3 minutes you will receive the response with all the details we just filled in and also the details of the product that we have ordered. So we have received a response now. First of all, we have the zip code that we entered, the transaction ID, that is the proof of our confirmed order. You scroll down and you will find the product name over here and product ID. See, we have fields created in our Google Sheet with the Google Sheet name as Digistore 24 data. The product name and ID we have received. What else is given to you? The name of the customer and new is over here. Then we have the event as payment. Okay, so it is very much confirmed that this event is for payment. If you want, you can add one more field over here as event, so that it will be confirmed that what is this data collected for payment, for refund, or what else is the option. Now after that, you have the email address of our customer. Then the currency is also given over here. The net amount is 37 given as over here. So now we have received all the data related to this product. The only one thing that we do not have is the date of the order. Now what we will do is, before adding all of this information to our Google Sheet, you will add a step over here. Now in Pabbly Connect, we have a feature called date time formatter, which will help you format your date and time as per your requirement. And there are multiple options given to you in the event. You can format date with time zone. If there is need to format the date only, then fine. If there is need to only change the time zone, then also you can do that. You can add or subtract the existing time. But we do not have an existing time. So how can we format the time, right? First of all, we need time. So we have two options over here, current date and modify current date. Current date is a simpler option. If you connect it, first of all, the connection is not a difficult task because this feature is built inside Pabbly only. Now you will select a basic format over here. What format of date do you want? Like I am selecting this simple order of date, month and year format, and do I want the time in response? So the time will be according to this data over here. Like you can see, the polling time for Digistore 24 is instant, which means that as soon as an order is placed, the trigger response will be received. And as soon as the response is received, the current date and time will also be generated according to that response of the trigger application. So if you want the time in response, you can make it true. I'm keeping it false because I will need only the date of the order, irrespective of the fact that it was done in the morning, afternoon, or the evening. So here we have the basic format. If you click on Save and Send Test Request, it will give you the date of right now, today's date we will be receiving. But in case you want to modify the date in order to get the date of the delivery, and the date of delivery is around 3 to 4 days later, so you can choose the option of modify current date. So if you choose this event, click on connect. When the connection is done, you will again get the date format. If I select the date format over here, all right, and you can change the time zone as well. You've seen the time zone. So in case of time zone, like I want the date that will be generated in UTC format, right? Then operation is to add subtract. You can either add time or subtract time to the current date. So what it will do is first of all generate the current date and then modify according to these changes that you're going to make. If I select the add operation, the number of days I want to add or hours. So I want to add the number of days and want the value which is 4. So what it will do is add 4 days to the existing date. Click on save and send test request and you will see that we will get the date for 4 days later than today. That is 30 over here, and in the current date is for 26, which is very much clear that this is the date of the delivery and not the order. Like right now, in the given case, we want the current date, that is the date of the order. So we will be simply selecting this option, that is current date, and this date format and save and send test request. So you can do it accordingly. If you want to modify the date, you can choose the option of modify current date. Otherwise, the current date is the simpler option that will work for you. Next, click on the plus button and add Google Sheets over here as your last action application. So here is my Google Sheet. The event will be to add new row because I have already created these columns and I just want to add rows to these columns over here. Click on connect. Now Google Sheet is a Google application. So you have to click on add new connection and choose your Google account. Click on allow, giving access to Pabbly Connect to add a new row in your Google Sheet. Now the connection is successful and you will have to select the worksheet spreadsheet name, which is Digistore 24 data. That is the name of our spreadsheet, and the sheet is just one sheet. The sheet will be selected automatically. Now you will get all the fields over here that you have created in your spreadsheet. So we will map the data. Take the product name from Digistore, that is we have received in the trigger response. This is called mapping. So every time a new product is ordered, this mapped data will be exchanged by the new data. This is the product name. The product ID will also be taken from Digistore response only, which is right below the name. Then we have the amount. So you can also take help from the search and map data. Rather than scrolling, you can simply go to the value and type it in the search and map data. Date of the order, so we just generated the date of order from date time formatter, so we can map this one. Name of the customer, so what was the name of the customer? It was new customer. Give a space and map the complete name over here. What is the email address? So I will again map the email address here, and the event was payment, that like I mentioned, so we will map the event as well. Now once all the mapping is done, you can recheck it and simply come here to click on save and send test request. And see, we have received a response which says that these specific rows of the sheet was updated. All right, 7 cells were updated, 7 columns were updated. So let us close this module and go and check our sheet. And here we have the response. See, this is the name of the product, the ID, the amount, the date, the name of the customer. This is the email address and the event is payment, which means that with the help of this workflow, even if for the applications that do not provide the date along with the event that is taking place over here, you can simply take help from datetime formatter by Pabbly and format the date accordingly as per your requirement. So this was the whole workflow. I hope this helped.
Not just these applications, but you can integrate many other applications using Pabbly Connect. If you have any issue regarding Pabbly, you can email us at support@pabbly.com. You can ask your queries at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any doubts regarding our pricing, then you can connect us through this given website. If you found this video helpful in any way, then make sure to share this with your friends and colleagues to make their life easier by creating automations. We will meet in the next video. Till then, do not forget to like our video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.